Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 3 of He Knows Ball. Vinnie Goldschmidt in the middle. Corey to my right. JD to my left. Boys, how we doing today?
Doing good. A little worn out, but, you know, He Knows Ball has to carry on, of course.
JD, how we feeling, man?
Very tired, very tired. I mean, you were the one driving yesterday, but I feel more tired than you. I don't know why. I mean, I also showed up half an hour late. I apologize.
No, all good, all good. Yeah, we were out in Pittsburgh this weekend for the student Emmys. Unfortunately, didn't come home with the hardware. I was hoping to kind of hoist a little trophy up, but we're unable to do that. But honestly, had a really good time out in the Berg. Got to go around Aki Shore Stadium, PNC yesterday. Met some great Steelers fans. Ran into Troy Polamalu, TJ Watt,
Justin Fields.
Yeah,
a couple of times.
I think it's great that realistically, Cam and I were talking about this yesterday. The lack of Justin Fields jerseys is insane. Like just of their current quarterback, of him or Russ. I think we saw a total of 8 between the two.
I think Russ was way less.
Yeah.
Like way
I
less.
saw one, but I only saw them selling Russell Wilson jerseys, and that was right outside the stadium. They had a little T-shirt with like, the number 3 on the back. That was it. But I did not find a single Justin Fields jersey for sale.
Yeah. But no, Pittsburgh was pretty cool. Got some Jack Sawinski merch, which our Jack said was a crazy cut. Honestly, not a good hitter, but hits tanks when he does make contact. So you gotta get the deep cuts. But no, honestly, Pittsburgh was a really good time. It was my first time ever going. I believe for everyone besides Cameron, it was their first time going. Ben had gone 2 other times, or that was their second time. It was his second time going. But honestly, it was an absolute blast being out there. Our advisor Jim Donnelly having a good time.
Shout out to him.
We love Jim.
Yeah, we do love Jim. But no, seriously, it was a really good time out there. Hopefully we can go back there next year, or maybe we just do a He Knows Ball trip out to Pittsburgh. Maybe at the Penn State. We did pass Beaver Stadium on the way out. We're blasting Kerncraft on the way over, hit our buddy Matty V's dance a little bit. But no, seriously, it sucks that it's over, but we did have an absolute blast of a time out there, and hopefully we can get back there soon.
Yeah, and I do want to say congrats to Robert Morris, first of all. We're just happy we got nominated, but again, it was 2 other great schools that were also nominated, so shout out to them.
Shout out to them for winning, and IUP for also being nominated. Also, dude, Penn State racking up the awards while they were out. They were any college award, all you see is Penn State, and then maybe 1 or 2 other schools mixed in, racking up the awards. Heck of a program out there.
Yeah.
But again, I think we did a good job, and hopefully, for all of us, we'll be back out there soon. And even if not for the Emmys, maybe a little Pittsburgh trip. Head out to
maybe He Knows Ball will get an Emmy at some point.
I think
We'll be there. We'll be there, I believe.
Front and center. But let's dive in to our regularly scheduled program. Let's start it off with a little bit of trivia.
Does he know ball?
Do we know ball, guys? I guess.
Hopefully we do.
Hopefully.
We're still lacking from that long drive. So
Yeah. So as I texted Vinny this morning at 8 in the morning, I realized no one did trivia. We all completely forgot. So I had to rush some things together. So thought about Pittsburgh a little bit, thought about our drive. So I actually got 2-parter here. And you already mentioned the first one. We did drive past the wonderful, wonderful Beaver Stadium. So what year was Beaver Stadium built? I'm giving it one guess. One guess from each person, hit or miss. Let's see what happens. We're not going to take this one too seriously, and then we'll go on to the more important one.
I'll let you go first, John. I'm trying to rack the brain. We'll go around the horn for this one.
Man, that's tough.
What are you thinking, JD? You just gotta throw something out. We can't just have.
We can't have dead air.
We'll go with 1952.
Close.
Okay.
Close.
Damn, I was thinking 60s, but now
That's what I was thinking too.
I'm gonna go 1957.
Closer.
61. Oh.
September 17th, 1960.
Damn.
I was going to say 60.
I was about to say 60s felt right to me, but I was probably gonna aim for upper 60s until you said closer, John. What's the other one we got, Cam?
All right, so yeah, now we actually have to talk about ball. So we did a lot of rushing home yesterday. Like, we all wanted to really get home. So what other way to talk about rushing home than let's name the top 5 quarterbacks with the most rushing yards in all time in the NFL.
Of all time,
Michael Vick.
Michael Vick's up there.
He's
for sure.
number 1.
Michael Vick.
Number
Okay.
1.
Damn, who else scrambled?
Randall Cunningham.
Number 5.
Good. Damn,
It's 2.
JD's right.
Yo, let him go. Let him go.
Wait, how many? It's 5.
It's
I
five.
have 3 more.
You
okay.
have 1 and 5.
Okay. Well, those are the hardest.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think like longevity wise. No way, Lamar's up there already, right?
Yes.
He is
Wow.
really.
Lamar is number 3.
So he's gonna
Wow.
retire as the all-time
Yeah.
leading rusher. Got it. Not Warren Moon. Warren Moon's not.
He's not even in the top 10.
Jesus. Wow, way to embarrass me, Kevin. Damn. Who else was scrambling a lot?
2 more. They're definitely so obvious too.
Yeah.
You guys need a hint?
Yeah.
1 is currently in the league. 1
Really?
has retired within the last 6, 7
So
years.
Josh Allen?
He's number 8.
Number 8.
So he's still in the league.
Still in the league.
From the New York Football Jets?
No.
I was gonna say no way. I was gonna say no way. It was Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is actually 10th.
Really?
Really?
Crazy.
I was about to say. I was like, you said active. I'm like, it has to be someone who's been around for a while. So
So one's active, the other one retired. What you say, 6?
about 6 years ago.
6 years roughly. I don't know exactly.
Has
played in a Super Bowl.
Cam Newton.
Both have played.
Oh,
in a
Drew
Super Bowl.
Brees?
Cam
Newton's a
Newton
good-
is number
good-
2.
yeah, good
Cam
pull.
Newton's number
Cam
2.
Newton.
So we're looking for number 4 and is active. He didn't retire 6 years ago.
I don't know, dude. I was guessing.
I was gonna say he
Yeah, I was like, wait a
Super
minute.
Bowl. I was just thinking 2017
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's the
He
only thing I can
played
remember.
like 20. What?
2.
20.
I think
Yeah,
22.
with New
Patriots,
England.
yeah.
Yeah, with New England.
He's
Um,
right. He was a backup for
Yeah.
New England.
Yeah.
So it's just the one that's currently in the league.
What do you got, Ben? Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson.
I was
Really?
gonna say. I was gonna say Russ or
that's
Kyler.
your
I was
guy.
gonna say.
That's-
I was gonna say.
that's-
Russ. I should go with my
that's
gut. I
your
was
guy,
gonna
man.
say
I
Russ.
was gonna say we already previously mentioned him in the program, but I feel
Yeah.
like that would've-
Yeah,
That would have. I mean, it would have been
easily.
him or Fields.
I was gonna. I
realistically.
should have said that.
Damn, dude.
The only guy we talked about.
Really?
Like, people not having their
Wait, how many yards does Russ have? That's such like.
Pull it back
And
up.
what's
You want
he
me to
in
go-
the
you
top
want me to
five?
go-
Number 2.
Yeah,
was
give
he?
me. He was number 4.
You want me to go
Number
to
4. Okay.
Yeah,
You want me to
give
read-
us the
Wow.
numbers.
All right, so Randall Cunningham, 4,928 rushing yards in
Okay.
his NFL career. Russell Wilson has 5,307. Lamar Jackson, 5,425.
Already.
Cam Newton has 5,628. And then the all-time leader, Michael Vick, 6,109.
Got that dog in him.
All right. Well,
We know about all
We're gonna
that.
move past that.
Right, we're gonna. But we're
It's too early for
it
this.
is way too early. But let's switch over. Usually we start with football, but I want to start with some baseball. A lot of big news, teams clinching. But I want to start with a bad. Let's start with the White Sox. We usually do a check-in. The White Sox yesterday tied the all-time record in the modern era for most losses. Currently sitting at 120. They have 6 games left. John's celebrating, so it won't be the Mets anymore. On a 5-game cooler. Let me pull up their schedule. I believe I know
They
they
got the
have
Angels.
Detroit to finish. Oh, okay. So they
And
have the
the Angels,
Angels
yeah.
for 3
And Detroit.
and Detroit.
So they'll lose the last 3. Definitely.
So what do we think they finish at? What's the record? I think 124. I think they take.
Yeah,
2
that's
from
what I'm
LA.
thinking,
2
too.
from LA.
You think so?
Detroit's fighting for a playoff spot. They're gonna give them the. I'm looking at the standings. I just realized the Royals are on a 6-game or 7-game losing.
yeah, they're
Jesus.
struggling.
They're falling out of it. They're holding on to the last spot, but only by a game.
Too
But
good
also,
to be true, I guess.
but also, no, Minnesota is not doing much better because they're 3-7 the last time. Minnesota. Gotta love Minnesota. John's not ready for all the Minnesota. Yeah, so we're hoping for some White Sox.
We're hoping for some history.
Some White Sox was. But talk about history. Shohei Ohtani, first member of the 50-50 club. It looks like he's aiming for the 60-60 club the way he's going. He's going to probably get 60 steals. I don't know about home runs. But Ohtani has been, obviously being the two-way player that he is, the dual threat that he is. We knew when he first came in the league that this was potential. He's going to win his 3rd MVP of his career. He's not even pitching right now, guys.
That's what I was gonna say.
The only times he hasn't won MVP, he's been injured, or Aaron Judge sets the AL home run record. The all-time record for most MVPs is 7, Barry Bonds. Is he gonna break that? You got to think he's gonna break the record. If he's already doing this without without pitching, how many MVPs is he gonna retire with? If he stays healthy, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, he can, as long as he plays, he's just going to win it every year anyway. I mean, especially this year. But I think the stealing, I don't really think he's going to do that much more once he starts pitching again because he's not going to put himself at risk. But if I were him, I wouldn't even pitch anymore. It's not even
maybe reliever.
Yeah.
Shohei the closer.
I mean, dude, he's too good to not throw. He throws 100, has a wicked splitter. Like he's too good to not be on the mound. I know he's been like throwing bullpens. I think they have hope that he's going to pitch in postseason, but it's not. Well, honestly, the way with how like Glass now shelved for the year, they might have to turn to him a little bit because I know a lot of the guys are banged up. But I mean, seriously, like him as a reliever would be perfect. As a closer, that's the Dodgers' one weak spot is like their bullpen. So you think if they move him to the pen, he's the guy who comes out in the ninth, not even running out of the bullpen, just running out of the dugout. Like I'm scared, man.
He wouldn't even need warm-ups. Yeah. He would just go. He's Ohtani. I mean, he could just go.
I know.
Arm circles. But no, seriously, like, how many MVPs do we think he's going to walk away with? Because he's already at number 3. That's his third one, and he's 27, 28. He's very young. He's got a lot of time left in his career.
Well, if he stays healthy, I think.
Do you think he breaks double digits
in MVPs?
Yeah. I mean, again, he's at 3, so he'd have to win 7 more in probably the next 12 years.
Well, he's 30. So.
He's 30. He's probably still going to play to his 42. If I had to get, he'll probably just DH towards the end.
Yeah.
He might have to get on the TB12 diet if he hasn't already.
He definitely has a good 6 years, I feel, left in him. Like before it kind of.
Yeah, before
we check in with the division, we do have some breaking news from Cameron over here.
All right.
Cam, what do we got?
I know we're about to get into team takes or whatever, but I know I'm a Lions fan, but I got to talk about my favorite Eagles player and the GOAT, Britton Covey. We have an injury update finally.
No.
Brandon Lee Gouton, Philadelphia Eagles reporter, has reported that Britton Covey will be expected to miss at least 6 weeks. He has a broken bone in his shoulder.
No. Season's over. Pack it up, boys.
Yeah. R.I.P. the GOAT. I love Britton Covey. Hopefully his career isn't over.
Damn. We were joking on the ride back yesterday and saying whenever Covey's done in Philly, he's not playing anywhere else. Call it a career. But damn. What a loss. Because he was doing a heck of a job for special teams. And I'll get into more about the Eagles in a little bit, but I know they've been banged up. But before we get into team takes, which is coming up next, let's take a quick preview at all the playoff updates for the MLB as we are heading into the last season. Philly's magic number is 1 to clinch the division. Ended up losing 3 of 4 against the Mets in this weekend series. Mets 2 games ahead of Atlanta in the wild card. But all 3 division leaders have locked up a playoff spot. Philly's magic number is 1. I believe the Dodgers is 3, I want to say. But they do have a little bit. They have a 3-game lead ahead of the Padres. But there is a 3-game series starting tomorrow between those 2 teams. So the Padres could really swing that division and make it come down to the last day. Over to the AL, Guardians clinch the Central. Yankees are clinched in for the playoffs, but I believe their magic number is also 1. And I believe the Astros they can clinch today. Also, today's the last day they're wearing the Space City, the Connect uniforms. They get new ones next year. So make sure to, if you have one of those uniforms, rep it one last time because they will be out of date, out of style after this. But I hinted at the Phillies. Cam talked about Britton Covey. Let's start with some team takes. Who wants to kick it off today? I'm going to save myself for last.
You know what? I'll go.
Okay.
I'll go because I'm kind of in a good mood today. The Steelers had a big win over the Chargers, 20-10, and the offense finally got going. Justin Fields finally threw over 150 yards, threw 245, 2 total touchdowns, 1 pick, but that offense, especially in the second half, really got into a rhythm. And I think Justin Fields is QB1. I think he's the starter. I feel confident. We go into Indianapolis next week with Anthony Richardson and how bad they've been playing. I have a good feeling that they're going to start 4-0. Calvin Austin, too. I mean, 95 yards and a touchdown. He was getting some love that game. Yesterday, Najee had another good day, and we can't not talk about that defense. I mean, that defense came up 5 sacks, really got to Herbert, and when Herbert got injured, Heineke. And all in all, for the first time in a while, I feel really good about the Pittsburgh Steelers right now.
Best record in football.
That is, yeah.
I think if Buffalo wins, they'll be 3-0. Is there anyone else who's 3-0 right now?
Chiefs.
Chiefs are
Chiefs,
3-0.
yeah.
Forgot they've eked out a couple questionable wins.
3 wins by less than what? They won by 5.
Yeah. They won by one last
and
week.
Week 1 they won by what?
Well, it was one possession. I'm pretty sure.
It was
Yeah, to the Ravens.
We were
yeah.
we were joking about this that Kansas City is going to keep winning by one possession to make everyone think, oh, they're fraudulent. They're not going to be that team in playoffs. They're going to wipe everybody.
You guys also forgot the Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold. MVP.
Minnesota.
How can I forget the 2 Jets?
Should we get a
old
skull chant?
quarterbacks?
Little skull. No skull.
Not yet.
Cam's not feeling skull yet.
Only 3
Oh yeah,
games.
how's it feel for 2 former Jets to be 3-0 right now?
One I'm happy for, one I'm not happy for. So
You're not happy for Gino?
no, I never liked him.
You're not writing. You're still writing him off.
Yeah.
You don't.
He's
care
not
if
going to
he
respond.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't care if he rates back.
Yeah, they haven't really played anyone good yet either. So
All right, JD, what do we got for your teams? Your team takes this week, man.
all right, so we'll start with the Jets because they're I know they're 2-1, but I'm gonna act like they're like 9-0 right now. They're just making me so happy. 3 games in 10 days, which was tough scheduling, but they won 2 of them, which is all you can ask for, especially after that Week 1 loss. Rodgers looked outstanding, which kind of made me excited because he can scramble. I mean, I think he was saving it for the home opener.
Top 10 all time.
Playing like that, I mean, come on, top 10 QB in the league right now. Come on, you can't.
Maybe he'll be in the pick 5 at some point.
But I'm excited to see how they can grow because I still feel they're not even close to the potential yet on offense. They got Denver this week, so hopefully that's a quick and easy game. That's over by like the 4th quarter. I mean, Denver won this week, but should take care of business. Also want to give a shout out to Will McDonald. 5 sacks in the last 2 games. I mean, he's come on. Jermaine Johnson went down with that season-ending injury. Everyone's like, oh, this Will McDonald guy, all he knows how to do is jump over cars and spin around. But, I mean, he's doing the job right now. We'll move over to the Mets, 6-1 on the homestand, which was really, really big because they kept they still have that 2-game lead over the Braves. That series starts tomorrow. Please do not let 2022 happen again and blow the lead. Please just go in there, win the first game, win the series. If you win the series, you clinch. That's it. It's over. The Braves can't get in over you. So just do that. Don't let 2022 happen again. Max Scherzer isn't on the team anymore, so I'm not concerned. The Fighting Irish. 28-3 win over Miami of Ohio. Then the letdown didn't happen this week. They also got a big game against Louisville Saturday at home. So if they win that, that's big. They got to just keep 1 game, 1 week at a time. Just keep plugging away and just keep winning. No, that's it. Overall, I'm happy, though.
Good week for JD.
Not going to lie, I have been happy for like a month straight with my sports teams. Probably the longest ever. So I gotta ride the high. That's it.
I'm glad you guys are riding high because I'm not happy with my teams right now. I'm going to start off with Oklahoma, and I alluded to it last week when they played Tulane. Jackson Arnold has not looked good, and Oklahoma's exposed. Their defense was fine. They did a decent job against the Tennessee offense that scored 50-plus points in every game, so I'll give props to the defense. Arnold looked atrocious. And now we have a quarterback controversy between him and Michael Hawkins Jr. going into next week against Auburn at Auburn. This is the rest of their schedule. They're screwed. They're at Auburn. They play Bama. They play Texas. They play LSU. Like, these are not easy games. And the fact that in the first SEC game they got exposed, not a good look. I'm very worried for Oklahoma. I'm not looking forward to the rest of the season because I really don't think they're going to be good. Switch over to the Phillies. I'm going to save my anger for the Eagles because Phillies, they clinched the playoff spot. That's great. They should have taken care of business against the Mets. The fact they did not. The fact they should have clinched the division by now. They're delaying the inevitable. Win a friggin' game. It's not hard.
It's the Grimace Magic.
I don't care about. I don't care about Grimace Magic.
That's why they lost.
I don't care about. Oh my God. I don't care. Clinch the freaking division, man. Like, it's not that hard. It really is. The fact that they should have clinched this division at the beginning. They could have done it on the beginning of the series, realistically, and they're just delaying the inevitable. Clinch the freaking division so we can have peace of mind.
God.
Settle down with home. But they're not even the team that gets me the most angry.
I might have to step back a little bit for this.
You might, because
Sit back and watch this.
so
record.
look, we're 1-1 in the last 2 days. That's fine. Or last 2 games. That's fine. Hertz has been okay. He's making stupid mistakes though. The interceptions are costly. You can't make these mistakes. It can't happen. Yeah, yesterday a bunch of guys got hurt. Like Cam said, Covey, Darius Slay, Devontae Smith.
I have more updates too. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'll start with the Devontae Smith thing. Because Devontae Smith getting hurt is embarrassing. The fact that neither of those guys were ejected or fined is embarrassing. He's already getting taken down. He has 2 guys pulling him to the ground. Late hit. Christian Boyd, late hit, pops his helmet off. And then Peyton Turner dives on a Devontae Smith with no helmet on and then spits on him. What the hell is that? What is that? No, I'm being so serious. How is that not a fine? Look, Jalen Carter doing the post-game antics, there's going to be a fine for that. It's fine. That needs to be a suspension. You take the Eagles, again, with A.J. Brown being hurt, you take the Eagles' best receiver out of the game by doing something like that. That is terrible. Not to mention Britton Covey, Cam's favorite Eagles wide receiver. But you take the Eagles' best active receiver out of that game for that. That is awful that there is no call for that. You know what's even worse? You know what's even worse than that? Nick Sirianni. Oh my God, last year, the Eagles crumble. I understand that. Everyone's calling for his head. They lose 7 of the last 8 to end the season. Everyone's calling for their head. Okay? Like, I get Soren's agreeing with me. He's shaking his head over there. Okay? He was 7 of 8. Everyone's calling for his head. And I'm not someone, I don't really throw coaches under the bus. I really don't. But in back-to-back weeks, it has been terrible decision-making. Against Atlanta, Saquon drops the 3rd and 3. John and I are watching this game. I'm saying don't take the points. They're going to have to grind downfield, right? They're going to have to grind downfield to get the 3 points. I think they pick it up on 4th down. But you take the points, the defense is Swiss cheese. That's not really on you. And then Jalen throws the turnover. All right, whatever. You should have taken the points, but it was. What are we doing yesterday? Your defense is playing their best game of the season. It's going to be the best defensive game they have all year. Unless they play until they play the Giants. Because Giants aren't going to do anything against them. Or maybe they will because it's Sirianni. So I don't know. Right? Your defense is playing the best game. You're well within the Saints territory. Going into half, your offense has not been clicking. Take the freaking points. No, you do a fake tush push on 4th and 1. On 4th and 1, you do a fake tush push after Jalen and him are standing on the sideline. You clearly know something's up. They're talking for that long. You do the fake tush push. Doesn't go. You go for it again on 4th. Doesn't go. You let Jake Elliott. I love Jake Elliott. He is a great kicker. You let Jake Elliott take a 60-yarder, and he misses wide. Last week against Atlanta, I don't want you to take the points. Take the friggin' points this week. Your offense wasn't clicking. Your offense is banged up. 2 O-line guys are gone. 2 receivers are gone. Take the damn points. It's not hard. Look, Philly came up with a win yesterday, and a win is a win. They don't ask how, they ask how many. That is fine. That is fine. But they won in spite of Sirianni yesterday. If this keeps up, I don't care if they have a winning record or make the playoffs this year. He's gone. He's good. Philly is going to call for his head. It is awful how he was so bad yesterday and against Atlanta. And it's not like the schedule gets easier. Tampa Bay lost yesterday to a Denver. They shouldn't have lost yesterday. So they're going to look for a bounce back spot. Philly has not performed well in Tampa Bay under Sirianni. They're in Tampa Bay. It's not going to be pretty if this is what the season looks like and he keeps making decisions like this. Especially with how many guys are hurt. Take the points when you need. It's mind-boggling. It is mind-boggling how stupid Sirianni has been the last 2 games. He lost the locker room last year. That was the big report. And it seemed like he was building it back up. It seemed like he was getting his guys back. And then he does this. He's going to lose that locker room and lose it fast. And he's going to lose his job. He's going to be working at McDonald's by the end of the season if he keeps doing this. I see you guys giggling. It's not funny. Soren and I are losing we're got gray hairs to our head because of it. We're going ballistic. Like, we were driving back yesterday. We have the game on. And I'm trying my best to drive straight and make sure we get home safe. But Sirianni's making me go crazy. He's making me want to drive in oncoming traffic. Like, how bad of a coach do you have to be to do that to a fan base? It's so bad. Look, I'll take the win. We're 2-1. I'm happy. Dallas loses yesterday. The Commanders are going to lose. We're on top of the division. Great. Keep doing this, and you're going to be at a job very, very quickly. I'm done. I'm done with Teamtakes. Done. Move on.
Would you like some updates?
Sure. Give us updates, man, please.
All right. So, relatively some good news after, the GOAT Britton Covey goes down. So, Darius Slay has confirmed that he will be fine for next week. He's a little banged up, but he's okay. Devontae Smith and Lane Johnson are both expected to mix next week. Just Lane Johnson more than likely able to come back. Devontae is going to be playing day by day. That's about it. And then Turner actually tweeted out earlier today or last night, I honestly don't know, just quote, "Y'all reaching. I won't ever do something like that. Bless y'all."
I might have to fly it out in New Orleans right now, man. Also, I said I was done with team takes, but I just pulled up so we could go to the next, so we could talk about NFL. I love seeing for 3 quarters goose eggs, all 15 points in the fourth. That's great that you have the ability to do that. Don't let it happen consistently. Against a Saints team who was overrated. They had 2 really good games. Dallas got picked apart. That's not going to be them the whole year. Dallas isn't going to be great, but they're not going to be that bad. And they played the Panthers. Who gives a crap about the Panthers? Look, they got their first win yesterday. Whoop-de-doo. I don't care. I don't care. Don't let that be something that happens the entire year, or Soren and I are going to combust. And I would like to continue to do the show, but we are going to combust if SIRIANNI keeps us up. I know Soren might bring it up during his alley. When we go down his alley, I wouldn't be surprised that's part of what he talks about.
I think he might be worse than you.
He just hides his
Steaming
emotion.
back there.
Yeah, you could see the smoke coming out from his ears right now.
I know Jack added that to the graphic, the smoke coming out of the ears, but golly, dude. All right, let's move on.
I was going to say, it's
All right,
definitely...
let's talk about some other NFL news that might be more positive because I don't want to be angry anymore. How about the Giants picking up the first win? I mean, the Browns is the Browns, but Malik Neighbors looked really good yesterday.
Yeah,
Daniel Jones looked competent-ish.
Yeah, but the question is, did Malik Neighbors just make Daniel Jones look that good?
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%.
Because that big catch he had, I mean, he overthrew him like he was wide open, and he had to reach for that.
Look, I'm not saying Daniel Jones is a good quarterback by any means. I think he's probably bottom 5 in the league of at least of starters. But he looked good enough against a Browns team who is trash. Their defense is good, but like Deshaun Watson is so bad. I can't believe they gave him that contract. And it's salt in the wound too. Again, Baker didn't look great yesterday, but Baker's been thriving since leaving Cleveland and going down to Tampa Bay. I know he had that time in Carolina and with the Rams, but I mean he looks really good. You got anything to talk about for the Giants or?
I'm gonna be honest. Like I always the last 2 weeks, I feel bad now. I trashed Daniel Jones for like a good amount of time. He looked. You didn't watch the game yesterday, dude. He looked good. Like I don't know what it is, but he looked. Something clicked for him yesterday. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he can carry it over. I mean, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I really think that he can carry it over.
I can't wait for him to get benched week 9 for Tommy DeVito.
Oh, I think after he heard everyone saying, hey, give me $1 million.
Yeah. Now that people are going to be there's some expectation for him. Oh, he's going to be awful. He's going to turn terrible, and we're going to get Tommy Cutlets season 2.
This is just the build up till Thursday because it's prime time. That Daniel Jones looked good. He's
the bounce back letdown.
Yeah, and then I don't know. But I feel the Browns are way too talented to look like this. I know Watson has just been awful.
I wonder why. Their quarterback hasn't been good since 2020.
But you can still win with terrible quarterback play. You can make it work.
Jets managed to win 7 with Zach Wilson and let it boil.
And Watson's way better than that.
Way
better.
I don't know.
He still is. He's not good, but he's still way better than that. Yeah. So that's what I don't know. I feel like, and also they only let up 20. It says they only let up 21 points, but the entire game the Giants are going up and down the field. That should have been worse than what it was. And the Giants almost tried to give it away, too. So. Not a Giants guy, but good for Danial Jones.
Yeah.
At least maybe there'll be 2 competent teams in MetLife Stadium this year. Probably not.
No, only one. we already know.
Well, for the time being. There's still a lot of football left, John.
Probably 0 by the end.
How about the Packers, dude? I was betting against Malik Willis, but Malik Willis kind of went out there and led that Packers team and a revenge game too. I know you love your revenge games, JD.
Not yesterday. No, I didn't like that one. It's okay though.
Not a Malik Willis guy?
I didn't pick the Packers. No, not even that. I'm good for him. I didn't pick the Packers, so that's just my personal.
Sorry, Jake. I'm sorry. I picked against the Packers. So. sorry, buddy.
I thought this game was going to be a lot closer, but I mean Malik Willis showed out. Will Levis, another viral clip, I guess you could.
I gotta ask, is he gonna be the one who gets benched next?
I think so.
The way he's, I
honestly.
don't even know who do we know who the backup is?
Mason Rudolph.
Oh yeah.
Dude, listen, we saw what Andy Dalton did for the Panthers yesterday. Mason Rudolph could not to that extent, but I think he could do something for the Titans.
Yeah,
They have weapons all over the place.
Yeah.
Will Levis just keeps throwing the ball to the other team. I mean,
That is,
Mason, as a Steelers fan, he led us to the postseason.
He can
Even
do
though
the job.
we almost beat the Bills. I mean, that game was close. We just made a lot of errors and mistakes, but I wasn't expecting us to go super far. That was a miracle if we won in Buffalo.
but I mean, if you think about it too, Mason Rudolph did that with the Steelers offense that really had nothing
Yeah.
surrounding him. The Titans have good. They have
do
good
have
players.
Pollard and Spears in the backfield. The receiving
Ridley,
core is not bad.
they're- Dude, I
Gotta
they're
love Chigakonkwo too.
dog. Absolute
Absolute
beast.
dog.
I mean, they're 0-3, but if they had a good quarterback without the turnovers, they could have beat the Jets. Should have beaten the Bears week 1. Even
Yeah.
yesterday, they could have won that game too. The defense was on the field the entire game, and Will Levis just throwing up prayers to the other team. Like that, I feel like they're in a good spot. They're 0-3, but they need to figure it out.
He loves doing the hands and knees.
Yeah, and
That's still
getting
my favorite.
Clearly
ripped by his coach.
His prayers aren't
Yeah.
going to answer. Yeah, Callahan is not feeling
he's
it.
not having.
No,
that.
I think he's gonna get benched if
Soon.
it keeps
If he
up.
keeps playing like
Maybe
this,
yeah.
even after next week. Like
It's
if they
ugly
start
again,
0-4, yeah.
I do want to talk about how about the 2 rookie quarterbacks finally getting their first passing touchdowns of the year. We'll start with the Bears-Colts game. I know Richardson's been awful, but the Colts did come up with a win. But Caleb, 2 tutties. Threw a ton yesterday, so the yardage is why. But I mean, was this the first time he finally looked like an NFL quarterback? Still kind of no. I mean, that O-line is evaporating, so it's not fully on him. At least yesterday, because he did get sacked 4 times. He was under pressure a lot of the day. Did have 3 turnovers, which is not what you're looking for. But he finally showed some glimpses of getting that offense in rhythm. Had that touchdown connection with Romo Dunze, Cole Kmet having a really good game. Even, I know DJ Moore didn't go for a ton of yards, but was able to find him for 8 receptions. So, he finally showed a little bit of something yesterday.
Yeah, I kind of feel they took the training wheels off him. After the first 2 weeks, they kind of just let him go out there and throw it around, just whatever, run around, throw it up and see what happens. That's why he has those turnovers too. So yesterday, he kind of looked like his college self, but you can't be doing the things that you did in college by running around. And that's when the turnovers happen.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel he needs to take what he did the first 2 weeks and the good of yesterday, just put it together. I feel he'll be okay.
Yeah.
Especially the connection with Romo Dunze. That was big because they haven't had much going the first 2 weeks, and he put up 112 and a touchdown, so that was big for him. But I feel, listen, the Bears have a good defense, so they're going to be in every game. I just think that if he can limit the turnovers, they'll be okay.
Yeah, I think, and like we were saying too, that O-line really needs to. They
That's a
need to
mess.
tighten up. Like
They're a mess.
because I really want to see Caleb with a good O-line, like
a clean pocket,
Then you can kind of evaluate whether he's
Yeah.
he needs a lot to work on, or if it's just rookie year jitters or.
He did look a lot better, which was nice. It's still going to be a lot of growing pains with him. Like you said, you can't get away with the stuff in college.
Nope.
Oh, no.
In the NFL, it's not going to happen. But that's also what made him so good is his ability to extend plays and, in the great words of Tony Rowe, look a little my homie Jim. We were doing that all weekend, and that's why our voices sound as shot as they do.
Yeah.
That was
You
literally.
start feeling a little lightheaded after.
Oh
trying
my
to
god! I was doing that while driving, and I thought I was gonna pass out behind the wheel.
I'd
I'm
have
not gonna
to
lie. I was
hop in.
struggling.
Definitely lose a little oxygen doing that.
Definitely. I don't know how he does it consistently,
No.
but even but again, Bo Nix played really, really well, leading the Broncos to their first victory, beating a Bucs team in Tampa Bay. Actually, Bo Nix did not get his first passing touchdown, but he got a rushing touchdown, so we'll give him that.
Yeah.
But they got to win. I think now all 3 rookie quarterbacks do have their first NFL win, which is of those 3, which do you think is the most impressive?
I think
That might
I don't
be.
know about
I
you.
think it's Bo Nix.
he played.
Yeah, I was
he
gonna say
played really,
bonus.
really, 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 really good yesterday. I know I had
do,
to say
do, you
like
want, do you
8
want to
times.
do you want to add one more? Really?
Really.
There you
But
go.
he played. Listen, I think he for all these rookies so far. We'll see Jaden Daniels tonight. I feel from week 1 to now they've grown up. It's only 3 weeks, but I
Yeah.
feel they've all grown up. Especially Bo Nix. Week 1, he threw we talked about it, 40 passes for 100 something yards. Yesterday he did his job. He stayed within the offense. He played well. Sean Payton is letting. I feel he's letting Bo Nix take the training wheels off. Let him go and see what happens. I mean, at this point, you're playing the guys. You got to let them just see what happens, right?
Yeah.
But they got a win yesterday, so good for the Broncos. It's gonna end this week though.
I
know who they're
don't.
playing,
I don't
so.
think Bo Nix has to grow up. He's already pretty old. He's a 20.
You know what I mean.
In the sense of
In the
an
sense of
NFL
developing,
quarterback.
yes.
Yes.
But he's a little old. A little bit.
We gotta talk about Sam Darnold. We alluded to it earlier, but Sam Darnold, 3-0, beating a Texans team. I know they're at home, but beating a Texans team who they shouldn't have won that game, and definitely shouldn't have won it in the fashion that they did. They made Stroud look. He did not look good yesterday.
Nope.
2 picks. You got General Mills to come in late in the game. Just not good football from a Texans team who has a lot of expectations this year.
Yeah, the Vikings look really good with Sam Darnold. I could see why he's the MVP frontrunner. I mean, just think about everything that he's been through with the Jets, the injuries, limited playing time in San Fran, and he's really shining. He really is.
He is having a great year. He is leading the NFL in passing touchdowns too.
Yeah.
John, how would you feel?
I'm extremely.
How would you feel if he ended up winning MVP this year? Would that would
That
have
would
to
make me
sting.
very
That would sting though, right?
No, it wouldn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. It really wouldn't. Because if you think about it, if they kept Sam Darnold, who knows if they were down the road they are now, right?
That's fair.
Think about it. Everything happens for a certain reason, I guess. But I mean, I do wish I have always said they should have kept him. I feel that we talked
Adam
about
Gase's
that last
fault,
week.
yeah.
That we could have kept him. We could have used that first round pick on a really skilled receiver that's in Cincinnati right now, but we didn't do that. Jamar Chase, we could have paired him up with Sam Darnold, but instead we took Zach Wilson. We know how that went.
Love Zach attack.
Yeah, but good for Sam Darnold. That he has the weapons. I mean, yesterday 4 touchdowns. He's tough. You saw yesterday he got hurt, came back in like 2 plays later. You know he's not giving this chance up. The only way you're gonna knock him out is if he's like really, really hurt. He's not letting this go. He's really gonna he's gonna keep
I
going.
got a little
with
worried because we're in the car and you're like, oh, Sam Darnold went down. I'm like, there's no way.
this. 2 plays later, Sam Darnold has
And they're like,
returned.
he's back. I was like,
Yeah.
We'll head down. Actually, we'll head out west to the Raiders game, where the Red Rocket leading the Panthers in his first game as a starter this year to a victory. And it was a bounce back letdown spot for the Raiders after upsetting the Ravens last week on the road, their home opener, and the Panthers steal one. Andy Dalton, 319 yards and 3 tuds, making that Carolina offense look really, really good, even though they really shouldn't have.
Yeah. Sorry, I just pulled my phone out here, but I don't know if you guys saw. No one actually answered me last week, so I'm kind of upset about that. At 1:50 p.m. last Monday, I put Panthers season is back on Red Rifle time after Andy Dalton was named starter. Can we zoom in on that, or is it possible? Ben, you got it? Clear? Can everyone see that? No, okay, but it's okay. I got that alert. I got really excited, and then I thought I would get an answer, but everyone chose to ignore me, so that's okay.
Everyone was writing off the Red Rifle, but he didn't write back.
No.
But no, congrats to them, man. That game last night, though. Kansas City wins. Yay. I'm bored. of
Go
Kansas.
Chiefs, yes.
Yes.
Right?
Sure. I'm so unenthused about Kansas City, dude.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna root for injury. Even they lose Pacheco for 6 to 8 weeks, and then Carson Steele goes for 72 rush yards as the starting back, and they sign Kareem Hunt, who will get in that. He'll mix in. It'll probably not be like Kareem's offense or Steele's offense. It's gonna be spread about, but. Can they just lose? I'm tired.
there's so many close games like we mentioned.
I got flavor fatigue at this point. We gotta move on from Kansas City, please. No more Taylor. No more Travis. No more Mahomes. None of them. No more Mahomey. Like none of that, man. If there's anyone in Kansas City I want to pay attention to, it's Xavier Worthy. But besides that, I don't want to. I'm tired of Kansas City. Move on. Vamos. The Lions eking out a win yesterday. Cameron fist pumps, but his heart was falling out of his chest. Big upset, though. The Rams, with a very depleted offense, stealing a win against the Niners. Gutsy win. Kyron Williams having a heck of a game. I'll talk about him a little bit more when we get to Fantasy Freakouts. But we got 2 games tonight. Double predictions coming up later in the show for Jaguars versus Bills and Commanders versus Bengals. Why do they do the double Monday night games? I don't.
Can tell you.
Cam's motioning money.
That's definitely it.
Probably.
Yeah.
But to have the Commanders on primetime?
Yeah,
JD Daniels, that's why.
Oh, yeah.
Primetime debut.
LSU versus LSU, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always a storyline.
There's always some
There's always something.
storylines,
going on.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's switch over to college scene. Before we get into any of the games from this past week and rankings and everything, I'm excited for next weekend on the 28th of September. Might have to fly down to FAU. You want to know why, John? It's AJ and Big Justice Day down at FAU.
Can I do it?
Of course. Boom! No, honestly, like, I mean, no one's showing up to FAU games as it is. Like, let's be honest. But some of the events going on, obviously, they're doing a meet and greet with pictures and autographs with the two legends themselves. I don't know if I want to call them legends, but guess what they'll be serving? Chicken bakes and double chunk chocolate cookies. Boom, indeed. And on top of that, they're going for the world record for the world's biggest boom. So I guess the stadium's gonna be packed out, and they're all gonna boom at once.
Oh my god, bro.
I mean, you do you to get people to show up to your games.
It's at Pipple Stadium, right? Too. I mean, this is gonna be a big party going on. I don't think anyone's even gonna watch that.
I mean, it'd be funny if they lose too. Nah, maybe that'll be their grimace or their oh my god. Is they just the AJ and Big Justice will be like the reason why FAU makes a bowl game, makes the CFP this year. But yeah, so let's move into more important news around
Please.
college football besides those two Galvones. But yeah, a good week of football if you're not an Oklahoma fan. Friday night had a really good game between Illinois and Nebraska. I know you're hopping on the Nebraska train now.
Dude, did you see his brother just committed there too? He's also a quarterback.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 2026. So
Maybe he'll be like Jackson. He's Vinnie Mahomes.
Hopefully not. So that Raiola quarterback
Raiola
factory
family
is going to
tree.
be going through.
Yeah.
He'll be there for 1 year with his brother. Then Dylan will probably be first round pick. Then his brother takes over.
We
I'm all
hope
in.
so.
All in on Nebraska.
All in on the Huskers.
The Cornhuskers.
But not the most of the ranked teams took care of business. Texas, number one, stays number one after this week. Archie Manning, couple of turnovers in his starting debut. Threw for about 50%, so not exactly what you would like to see, but they beat up on General Booty and the Warhawks. That's going to be a top. I already made this as a statement. That's going to be one of our pick fives, the greatest college football names of all time.
Can't wait for that.
Little Dakota's Crawford. Kool-Aid's always good, but Ohio State took care of business. Ole Miss took care of business. Mizzou kind of struggled against Vandy at home, too. Ended up getting the win, but they ended up falling down in the rankings. We drove past Penn State on Saturday, and Penn State took care of business.
Yeah, we didn't need to see that game.
Zombie. You gotta love some zombies. But yeah, I mean, seriously, after Kent State got blown out, I was thinking maybe there's gonna be a little letdown spot for Penn State, especially saying they struggled in their game against Bowling Green a couple weeks ago. But same thing, took care of business. Utah eked out against Oklahoma State. Kansas State, the big one, getting upset at BYU, taking their first conference loss. It's conference play getting started. I love to see it. It's about the time where football gets really good. No, there's still going to be some blowouts, but like coming up, I know we have Georgia versus Bama coming up next week. That's going to be a slugfest. Honestly, probably a prediction of the SEC championship game of the Natty. Like, we're going to see that.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State versus Kansas State. Realistically, whoever loses this game, they're both 0-1 in conference, both 3-1, hanging on to the bottom of the rankings. Whoever loses might get bounced from the CFP. So big playoff stipulations there. Illinois at Penn State this weekend. Another really, really big game. Let's go over the rankings real quick for this week. Texas won. Top four stay the same. Texas, Georgia, Ohio State, and Bama. Tennessee with the victory moves up. Ole Miss moves down. Mizzou taking a big drop, even with the win, down to 4. So Miami, Oregon, Penn State, and Utah all bump up. Michigan up 6 after not upsetting USC, but I feel like USC should have won that game. USC drops down to 13. LSU 14. Louisville, Notre Dame, go Irish. Clemson up at 17. 2-1.
They're not too good.
They're not good. They're gonna fall out. But Iowa State, Illinois, OK State, and Oklahoma. BYU, Kansas State dropping 10 spots after the loss. A&M at 24, and Boise State. My pick to be the Group of 5 school to make the Natty or make the CFP. Another team to check out for is JMU. When we get to Moi Goi, I'm going to talk about JMU a little more. Another good week of college football. But I say we switch back. Let's go to the fantasy realm. Let's go to Fantasylandia. Let's have a little bit of let's do some fantasy freakouts, JD. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do some fantasy freakouts, Cam. Come on.
That hurt the ears.
That hurt the soul there. I'm gonna start. I went 2 of 3 in my leagues. I don't think I have anyone left playing. I think I've clinched at this point. This is why I don't draft tight ends early, man. Mark Andrews. I know. Look, it's in our league, and I beat up on you, which is great. Knockout punch.
No. Well, we'll get to that.
But how can you have a top tight end in the league and only target him one time? I get it. You're up early in the game. You only look at his direction one time. What are we doing? I'm never going to draft a tight end early again. This is purely the reason I did. If he had been at least decent, I'd consider it. He has been an atrocity. He has been a ghost in that offense. Let me do all the negatives first, and then I'll go to my positives. In my main money league, I'm going to lose to a guy who is projected to score like 83 points. I have no one left. I scored 65 points this week. My third highest scorer was my defense. Tyreek Hill did nothing. Devon Achane did nothing. Ramondre Stevenson, gotta love seeing 0.3. So, yeah, that sucks. At least I'm 2-0 in that league. So, hopefully, I can still stay high in the standings. But under some good news, Amari Cooper having a good game, 2 touchdowns, 88 yards. Aaron Jones, a big factor in that Minnesota win, 25.8 points, 102 rush yards, and had 5 catches, 46 yards, and a TUD. And Kyron Williams, big factor in that Rams win, 3 touchdowns and over 110 scrimmage yards. I hate Mark Andrews. John, what do we got for your fantasy freakout?
All right, so we could start with Mark Andrews, too, because he did, we talked about it, absolutely nothing again. So he's done.
On the waivers?
Not yet. He's going on the bench, though.
I think it's on the bench. He has one good game, and you get him off the roster.
Yeah,
So
Dallas. They have Dallas Goedert, too, so that was nice, putting him on the
Goedert.
bench, 27 points. In my one league, I'm currently up by, what is that? That's like a little less than 30. And he's got Josh Allen and Evan McPherson tonight. So I got to hope Josh Allen doesn't have a great game. And hopefully Evan McPherson just doesn't even kick tonight. Yeah, that one's probably going to be a loss. And then my other league, I'm down by exactly 9 points. And I got Mike Gesicki tonight. So hopefully.
Got to see a white man gritty.
Yeah, he should stop grittying. Hopefully he can get me 9.1. That's all I'm asking for, Mike Gesicki. 9.1.
He's going to score 8.9.
Probably. Listen, he did well last week. I know T. Higgins is probably going to be back tonight, so
He does draw a lot of red zone targets, which is good for you at least.
yeah, that's all I need. I just need a touchdown and a few catches, get me my points, and let me win. And especially that I put Amari Cooper on the bench too, and this is
that
making me
hurts.
sick. Oh my god.
What about baseball, man? What happened? I know you're in the chip.
Yeah, wait, I'm not done yet. Okay. I just want to rip in on Mahomes too a little bit because you're the best quarterback in the league and you only got me 16 points. Like what are we doing, man? Like I don't understand this. Like you're good for you, you're 3-0, but you're not doing anything for me. So
Not very Mahomey, if you ask me.
No, not
I don't
really.
know, Jim.
Yeah. And then also CeeDee Lamb and Devontae combined for 16 points. What a disgrace that is. Give a good little shout out to Dak. He went off yesterday in the fourth quarter, put up 29 to give myself a chance. Yeah, that's really it for football. But baseball made the championship, lost by 2 points to my uncle. It was a battle. The whole year was. My team went 12-10, but we would win like 4 in a row, lose 3, win 3, win 2, lose 2. It was a mess, but got to the championship and lost by 2 because Kyle Schwarber decided to strike out almost every at bat last night. So I blame that on him. And what are you gonna do? That's it. That's all I got.
I mean, at least you profited money in that league.
Yeah, $10. What are you gonna? $10.
I mean, dude, that's like a big bucket of like mac and cheese bites from Sheetz, not sponsored. Or you can get Cameron's new favorite sandwich, the Big Mott's. Got it both going out and coming back from Pittsburgh. One of them was eaten at 10:30 in the morning. By the way,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Sheets' target audience apparently. Biggest advocate for that sandwich, right, Cam?
My mic's not working. There we go. No, Wawa on top, 100%. Sheets is awful.
But still Big Mots though.
I can name like 20 things at Wawa that are still better than the Big Mont.
Corey, how do your finish?
So I was 1-1 this week. My one league won by, I think it was about 20. Rasheed Rice, Saquon Barkley did their thing again. As for the Marywood League, Vinnie absolutely just obliterated my team. My team is literally a retirement home right now. Literally, I have 3 guys on my bench that are healthy. That's it. Like, that is it.
I think we have 8 bench spots too. We have a lot of bench spots.
That's it. Yeah, and then 6 guys on my bench injured. Anthony Richardson again. If he's listening, I'm getting rid of you off my team right now. Back-to-back games where he was. I think last week he gave me 9. This week gave me 5. Another multiple interception week. So I'm taking somebody else. He's gone. I might even take Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
I mean, for all I know.
I have Justin Fields if you want me to trade him over.
Corey, Sam Darnold's available.
I
That's
mean-
who you got.
Sam Darnold is available, man.
Well,
Now
break the bank
yeah,
for him
spend the
might.
fab budget on it.
before Jake Jones gets him.
Soren's already on. He's already putting in a waiver claim.
No, he's doing it for Corey.
Oh,
So
yeah,
if
Soren,
Corey doesn't
Soren.
get him, Soren will get him and trade him over to him.
Yeah.
Soren, during the alley, I'll send you the password to my phone. No, but there was kind of good, even though Vinny won by a lot. I think I only had like 80 or 90 points this week. If it's way less, then I'm not surprised either. But Stephon Diggs was my highest with 19.9. And then everyone else, single-digit point totals. That's it. So it was a awful week in the Marywood League.
Yeah, not a good week. I don't know why it's not letting me. What's up?
I do have to give my shout out to Brandon Aubrey once again. So he's carrying the squad. I forgot to mention that. I'm all good now.
It's the year. It really is the year of the kicker for fantasy, though.
Yeah, 13 points. Dude, he's like up there with Mahomes in points right now. That's just absurd. But
Someone try to hack into my ESPN account. It's making me have to log in.
What, just now?
Yeah.
Soren?
Yeah, what are you doing? Soren's doing something. Yeah, it's making me have to log in. I want to see what our total. John, can you check what the total was for me and Corey this week?
yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah, I don't know why
sorry.
ESPN's doing that.
Let's see if the app loads here.
That's annoying. Whatever.
Soren's trying to make some trades or something.
Soren lost. Soren also lost. Just wanted to put that out there.
You lose.
Corey, you actually only have 67 points.
Wow. Yeah.
Because we can go down. I can read the entire list.
Yeah,
if
I
you
mean,
want.
go right ahead.
So you talked about Richardson, 5 points. Zeke, I think you need to get rid of him too. He only had 2.2.
Well, just look at my wait until you get to my bench.
Yeah, we'll get there. I know. Cam Akers, 9.9. Stephon Diggs, 19. I mean, like 20.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Darnell Mooney, that was a good pickup. He had 15.
Yeah.
I don't know why you took Colby Parkinson. I had him last week, 5 points. DeMarcus Robinson, too, 4 points. Saints defense, 6 points. Jake Elliott with the nice 0.
Yeah, goose egg.
And then here's the retirement home.
Yeah, read this retirement home.
Pacheco. You don't even have another IR spot. Oh, my God. Pacheco on the IR. Mixon was out. Kittle was out. Mostert was out. A.J. Brown and Tua on the IR. Then you had Hopkins, who you could have put in. He had 19.
Yeah.
Could have put him in at flex.
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy with the 9 points and Cooks with 4. So you're
Either way, even if you had put your bench. Yeah, literally.
that's just
Even
that's
if
unfortunate.
I had Hopkins in, I mean,
You're still
that's just
losing,
scratching the surface.
that was
of
worth
this week.
reading. That was really worth reading that.
I'm sorry that you had to. I'm sorry you had to experience.
Well, John's life is just so impacted now after reading that.
He's done with the show. John
I'm done for the day. That's it. That was
Deuces.
rough.
Deuces,
I feel
deuces.
awful for you. You need to get rid of it. In all seriousness, Richardson has to go.
Oh yeah, he
He's-
is. He is. Again, if you're tuning in, you're gonna be on waivers in about 24 hours. So
I saw faith. You want to trade him over? I'll take him off your hands.
yeah, and you said that about Tua, and then
And then Tua turned.
You should have traded to it.
I wish I did. Yeah.
Tua started throwing up gang signs.
All right. Well,
I mean, he did.
that's all right.
We can't make the DeMar Hamlin joke.
No,
We
no,
can't.
no Al Michaels here on this show.
Oh my lordy! But all right, let's move on to our next segment. Moi Goi of the week. Let's get it started.
Wait, is that your Goi?
No, I thought that was your Goi.
No, that's
Moi Goi
of the week. Who wants to start? I know we got 2 baseball and football. Who wants to kick it off? Let me.
Go with the football. Yeah.
All right. So I mentioned JMU having that big game. We're tracking that on the entire ride out. 120 points in the game. 70 on JMU side going into Chapel Hill, getting the W. But Moi Goi of the week is Alonzo Barnett III, the QB for JMU. 388 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, added just under the century mark on the ground, and 2 tutties of his own on the ground. Like I said, 70 points on the road at UNC. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Saying that UNC had not allowed more than 20 points in any of their games this year. JMU in the Fun Belt. They're one of love the Fun Belt. Best Group of 5 conference. Not really, but
No.
love the Fun Belt. I mentioned Boise State being one of the teams who could be the Group of 5 school to make it. I definitely think that JMU is one of them as well. Have kind of had a lot of success the last few years and could be that team. They did get AP votes this week. They didn't make the list. I believe they only got like 11 because, I mean, even though they beat up on UNC, they did allow 50 points. It's kind of just a slugfest. I think they just said, hey, defense, we want defense. No one wants to see you guys. Let the offense go back out there. But keep an eye on JMU. They could definitely be a team that could make a run and be the Group of 5 school. But, yeah, shout out to Alonzo Barnett. Not the first, not the second, but the third. Heck of a game. Corey, who you got?
Good old Ellie De La Cruz. He became the first shortstop and the youngest in MLB history with 25 home runs, 65 steals in a single season. And we all know how great he's been. You know, he stole 100 bases in his first 2 seasons. He's batting .261 on the year, despite the Reds continuing to miss the postseason. But he's just continuing to show why he's one of the brightest stars in the league right now. So he's my Goi of the week.
They just fired David Bell, manager of the Reds, last night. So hopefully things are. I mean, I had high hopes for the Reds this year. Kind of disappointing. I know they battled a lot of injuries this year. But like a guy like Hunter Green showed that he has that Cy Young upside. De La Cruz, Matt McClain was hurt this year. They have a lot of good core players. It's just being able to formulate that whole roster. But yeah, Cruz is gonna be, or De La Cruz is gonna be the reason that the Reds team has success in the near future.
Yeah.
JD, who you got?
Well, that's the Reds spark plug, but I think the Mets just found themselves a new spark plug. Luis Angel Acuna, yes, Acuna, Ronald Acuna's brother. The Mets brought him up. Everyone was calling for it months ago, but they waited. They brought him up finally, top prospect for the Mets. He's a middle infielder, can also play outfield, so he's very versatile. He's hitting .379 through his first 9 games, so he's stepped up. And they said he couldn't hit. He's hit 3 home runs, total of 6 extra base hits. I believe he hit 1. He has a triple as well, so two doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs in 9 games, which is pretty impressive to say the least for a guy that just is up in a pennant race right now, and he's just playing shortstop with Lindor hurt. It's providing a lot more than people expected. It's going to be interesting when Lindor comes back because Lindor said he's definitely coming back probably. It might be tomorrow where Acuna is going to play because when Lindor is back at shortstop, you're not taking Iglesias out. So I mean, he's not only Moi Goi, but I feel he's a guy for the Mets right now. He's got to be in the lineup.
He's the Mets Goi.
He's got to be in the lineup somehow. So they got to figure this out because Vientos is good at third. I don't know. Maybe you just tell JD Martinez you got to sit on the bench and put the young guy in there.
Well, I was going to ask. Obviously, for this year, it's a good issue to have. But where do you think he sticks long term for the Mets?
He'll play second base.
Because Iglesias is 1 year, right?
Yeah, but I think they'll bring him back and they'll both play second next year. And then Acuna can go in the outfield.
I was going to say, you think you move him around in the outfield?
Yeah, he'll move around. And now it provides insurance for Lindor if Lindor needs a little break. Yeah.
Have him DH where you can put. You still want his bat in the lineup, but you want to get him off his feet. Damn, he's going to take a spot away from DJ Stewart.
He's in Syracuse. He can enjoy that. We don't need him ruining the playoff.
Minor league regular season over. Sadly,
he can go home then.
Forgot to mention it during team takes because I was worried about being upset. But Lehigh Valley walking it off to end their season. Long ball, Derek Hall, walk off grand slam. So I guess that's one good takeaway you can have for team takes. But we're nearly 11 o'clock hour. think. Do we know what time that is? I think it's time for Soren's Alley. As he makes his straw up.
Oh.
As the Eagles flag fell. Way to go, Soren.
That sums up the first half.
Yeah. Yep. That sums up the Eagles season. Who's giving up their spot?
doesn't matter.
I'll take it up.
Sure.
All right, Corey taking a stroll off cameras. Soren comes on.
Oh boy,
How you doing today, bud?
I'm doing all right, but
Put the headset on. What are we doing, dude?
it's on.
Okay.
Don't need to get too wild up right now, bro.
Wild
Relax.
up. Soren, I don't think I could be more relaxed than I am right now. I got my energy out of me. So what are we talking about today?
Well, let's just say my fantasy team just went down the tubes once again because, may I remind you, I did pick up Jawan Jennings. He had a huge game. So, I mean,
Come on, camera. There you go.
yeah, but he had a huge game today, like on Sunday. So he had like 46 points in fantasy. And it's kind of sad I didn't start him. So that was not good. Charbonnet from the Seahawks, I also didn't start as well. Cole Kmet surprisingly had an interesting game. But like I said, my fantasy team just not good this week against, Ravondre's. Against the Patriots running back.
Soren's down and
Ramondre
out today.
Stevenson. Yeah, it's not good.
Soren's tired from this weekend.
He's
Yeah,
tired.
but I
upset.
Did that 40 take everything out of
Yeah.
you?
Oh yeah. We got out in Pittsburgh when we're walking near Acrisure Stadium.
Yeah.
They had a little setup for 40-yard dash, and Soren was moving.
Yeah, like I was moving down that line to the 40-yard line.
moving like an iceberg.
What was it, a 5'9", right?
5'9".
It was a 5'9". Just about
running
as
like an O lineman when he gets his chance.
I was going to say, you could O-line. Play O-line for the
rumbling,
Steelers.
stumbling, bumbling. Man, what did you think of Pittsburgh as a whole? What was your favorite part about being out in Pittsburgh?
to be honest, I think just being there for a Sunday football game, I think was pretty interesting to see because I've never seen really like how people would be able to tailgate at like a Pittsburgh Steelers game. So it's kind of interesting to see how that, the different spots you can, I guess, tailgate and then
Take it easy
also
on Sidney Crosby, buddy. You almost knocked him over.
yeah, I noticed that.
I don't think the Pittsburgh fans would be too fond of that, man.
And it's surprising how you can bring your yacht, like literally, down the Allegheny River
That was impressive.
That was
and be able to watch the game from there too. So it's kind of interesting to see that, but it's also kind of relates to how Oracle Park, the
San Francisco.
San Francisco Giants stadium, almost relates to that too. So it's kind of an interesting experience to see that. So that was kind of fun. But overall, the night was,
Good time.
Yeah.
Good times.
no, it was, especially stopping at Sheets and getting food too.
That was
So
your favorite part of the whole thing, getting sheets?
Well,
That's
no.
one of the highlights?
Well, no, I'm just saying, at least for the car ride up, I'm just saying that was probably the best part. But also,
Well, no, you guys
also-
stopped for Italian food on the way up. You came back with us, and that's what we stopped for. They stopped for Italian food in Bloomsburg.
yes, that is
What
correct.
did
and Ben
you
can attest to
get?
that.
What did you get?
I got a chicken Caesar wrap.
Solid pull.
Yeah.
What would you rate it? Well, how many stars are you rating it?
How many Maroons, Soren?
how many Madalons you giving it?
7 out of 10. It was pretty good.
How many booms?
It was the biggest boom.
You give him a boom, Soren.
Boom!
That's a pretty big boom, if you ask me, man. That's a pretty.
I was happy.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, we all had fun this weekend, right?
It was a
I
good,
mean,
it was a good weekend.
at least we get the recognition that we deserve.
We definitely
Getting nominated is
It's an
a big honor
accomplishment,
for
right?
our program. So
proud of the work that everyone did, especially you, buddy. You really stepped up for everything we asked you to do. Jumping over the barrier.
yeah,
to,
thank you.
set up
I
the camera.
actually really appreciate that,
Of course,
Vinnie.
bud. Of course, bud. Of course. Okay. You just smacked my bad arm.
No, it's
No, you smacked my bad arm.
okay. I didn't know. I didn't know.
Anything else you got in the alley before we let you go?
Yeah, just the Eagles are just atrocious.
Yeah.
But I mean, credits to the defense. They did actually improve this week. But once again, if you do not have your key players that are actually going to perform, it just becomes a 50-50 ball game of who's really going to win the game.
Yeah.
And, you need to have people that can just throw the ball down the field and actually catch it.
At least you got
along with just-
Saquon, right?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I mean, we have Saquon too. He
He
can also
saved you guys
yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
It almost proves like, hey, you have a good running back. Give him the ball.
Let him run.
Yeah, I mean, he can let him run, and then he can let him throw a pass too.
might have to get him in the backfield the way he was running yesterday.
I might even be a wide receiver if that.
Oh, all right. Now
I don't know
we're
about
pushing.
all that, Soren.
5'9" wide receiver. You're not ever
Five-
getting open.
Whoa. Britton Covey. Come on, man.
Yeah, but
Britton Covey doesn't run 5'9".
No, not the height. The
Britton
speed.
Covey. I mean, dude,
Alright,
he,
good,
he
good.
does
We have to
bench press like
confirm
a
that.
really good receiver.
No,
man.
I'm big in the short receiver guys, but like not the speed. 5'9", 40. You're not getting anywhere with that sort.
well, I mean, I was a kicker in middle school, so I don't know how that worked.
Get him out there.
What was your longest field goal?
He was
Now I'm
Pat
invested.
McAfee.
All right, now I want to hear this.
Yeah.
25, 30 yards.
Oh, so he wouldn't
In
even
middle school.
He wouldn't even make the do you think you could make the McAfee kick for $50,000?
To be honest, I'd be really nervous to do it, but I probably wouldn't make it. So,
I think we would.
but if I had some confidence within myself, I probably would make that kick.
you
So
should,
it would
Soren,
be
you should
interesting.
Soren, have some confidence, man. I think we gotta get out to a field or something. Get some field goals going up.
Yeah, we gotta-
Practice in case we ever end up on there.
I actually kick with my left foot, shockingly.
Really, you're a lefty.
I'm a lefty kicker.
wow. Learn
Sor-
something new every day, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you are McAfee. Are you Pat McAfee?
I don't know. Are you? Because you like to really talk a lot about the
Right.
Eagles. I mean, that was
Pat-
a
Pat-
crazy
wait,
rant
wait,
you went on.
Pat McAfee. Okay, Pat McAfee doesn't talk about the Eagles, Soren.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, like,
All right, that's all for
Yeah.
Soren's Alley. Soren, thank you for coming on, buddy.
yeah, thanks, everybody.
As he fades off, he goes into the cornfield and fades off into the abyss.
Soren's going to sleep for the rest of the day.
Nighty night.
See you at 4 o'clock. Soren.
What do you think about Soren's Alley, Corey?
That was an alley. I didn't know Pat McAfee was like a big Eagles fan.
Yeah, according to Soren.
Must be that Pat, like other guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Maybe Pat McAfee the second or something.
Pat McAfee, maybe.
Matt McAfee. There we go. That's who it is. Time for this week's Pick 5. It's John. John, what's our topic this week?
Top 5 buzz.
You got to give me a second here. Oh man.
That's the first time
Wait,
John's
who's
heard this.
John said he was running a little late today, so we thought we would get ready for the top 5 buzz of the recent memory.
Yeah.
Top 5 buzz.
I wish I had the heads up on that one.
Oh,
Play it again, actually.
One more time.
Top 5 buzz.
Okay, so the pick 5 this week, top 5 QB bust of recent memory. I had to say it like that. You guys did, so I had to join in.
It's only fair.
Recent memory is the key here because I know I'm going to receive a lot of backlash. Maybe, but we'll see. We'll start at number 5, Mac Jones.
Buzz.
Wait, how do you guys want to do like react after every one, or should I just read?
Yeah, that's
We could do that, right?
we can wrap
Yeah,
that for each
yeah,
one.
everyone, yeah.
All right, so number 5, Mac Jones. We saw him his rookie year with New England, led the team to the playoffs. Wait, we got to make a note. He was a first-round pick. He threw for 3,800 yards, 20 touchdowns, but then the last 2 years struggled really, really, really bad in New England, resulting in a benching last year for Bailey Zappi. So that's when you know you're really going down the drain. Then he was traded to the Jags in the offseason and is now Trevor Lawrence's backup. What do you guys think of that?
I think it's a good pick.
Yeah.
He's definitely should be on the
I'm
list.
curious, how long is recent? What's the criteria for recent memory?
Well-
Last 5 years, last 7 years? Like,
Well,
what's the?
What, this is year well, because what I did was I kind of just went off the top of my head. Mac Jones is in year 4, Zach's in year 4, Bryce is in year 2.
Don't give away the whole list. Whoa, slow down there, Bucko.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying whole names.
Well,
You guys
I
don't-
think people can
Well, Bryce or anyone could be. You don't know.
quarterbacks named Bryce. Come on, lock in.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper's a top 5 bust in recent memory.
So for the most part, it's kind of guys that are. Yeah, I guess
kind
you
of
can
lasts
go
like 5 years or something.
5-6 years. Yeah.
All right, who's number 4, John?
This one gets a little personal. Zach Wilson.
Buzz.
I can't. You got to give me a second to regroup. This is too much. He had an awful rookie season. We know, throwing just 9 touchdowns. Year 2, he got benched halfway through the season, despite the team being 6-3. So he was just never a leader. There wasn't really much. I don't even want to talk about this guy. He just pisses me off too much. He was put back into the starting role this second year when the team was trying to battle for a playoff spot. They couldn't win a game the rest of the season. Last year was put into action after Rodgers' injury. Still performed horribly. Was benched once again. Got traded to the Broncos and was injured last year and then decided to quit on the team after saying his head hurt him. But that's another story. What do you guys think?
I think that's a good pick, too.
It sounds very busty, if you ask me.
He should be.
I know that one. I know that one stings, man.
Yeah, that one just annoys me.
that
Just
one
reading
hurts
his
me, I know.
name annoys me.
Yeah.
one hurts.
But hey, he's not there anymore.
That's all that matters.
Zach Wilson cannot hurt you anymore.
I really wish he played this week against the Jets. That would make me so happy to watch him get pounded for 4 quarters.
Pause.
You know what I
Wow.
mean? Sack like wow. Sack like 9 times. Just
Wow.
But
Who's number Trace, John?
number 3, I didn't know if I want to include him in this, but I think it's worth it now after yesterday kind of just confirmed how terrible he is because Andy Dalton just balled out for the Panthers. Bryce Young.
Bust!
It's so stupid.
I have to stop talking every time this is played. This one is very fresh in people's minds. He threw only 11 touchdowns last year as a rookie. Couldn't even throw one in his first 2 starts this year along with 3 picks. He's played 18 games in his career. 18 games, he only won 2. You're just garbage. Come on. And Andy Dalton, as we said, stepped up yesterday, leading the Panthers to a W. So he's definitely number 3 for me.
I think he'll be working fast food pretty soon.
Raising Cane's. He already
That's-
worked there.
That's right.
I think they're gonna give him a chance at some point. He's gonna get back to at least get one more opportunity.
Not if they keep winning. I know it's 1 game, but not if they keep winning.
I'm not buying into all of the Red Rocket hype. At least not right now. Maybe at some point. Again, I'm not saying he's going back to start next week, but they spend an arm and a leg to go get him. You know, they traded multiple first rounders, DJ Moore. They clearly have faith in this guy. They're going to have to give him another opportunity. Now, again, it's going to have to be before the offseason because odds are they're probably going to hold close to one of the top picks, and there's a lot of quarterbacks in this draft. So they're going to want to figure out what they have in Bryce, if this is the way that they want to move or if they want to cut their losses. But yeah, Bryce Young has been awful. I don't disagree that he is a top 5 bust in recent memory. John, who is the number 2 bust?
Wait, before I say number 2, I just want to say that just think about it. The Panthers front office and coaching staff is not who drafted Bryce Young. So
That's fair.
you got
Yeah.
they have no
no
ties
ties.
or anything.
That's
to him.
true. That's
They
true.
can.
Yeah.
That's why he's on the bench.
Well, I
They-
mean, you look at guys who have been in Carolina and then have had success. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. Maybe Bryce Young maybe he needs a fresh scenery.
get Bryce Young to Vegas. I think you.
I think he'd be good
Yeah.
in Vegas.
Yeah.
You give him a couple of really good receivers. That O-line's okay-ish. Pierce rallies for his guy. I feel like right now Young's confidence is really really rattled. Get him with a guy like Pierce. I think that confidence gets built back up very quickly.
Pierce ripped his guys yesterday. I don't know if you guys.
Oh,
saw
I did
that
see
too.
that.
He said guys are making business.
I was gonna
decisions.
say
That's-
business
and he said
decision.
they'll be making them today. That's some quote.
Oh, yeah.
We'll move on. Number 2, Trey Lance.
Bust!
Stepped in the 4th game of his career for Jimmy G. Jimmy G got hurt, so Trey Lance played 2 games. He was awful. So then when Jimmy G came back, he stepped right in. Then they kind of handed Trey Lance the job, I think, in my opinion, over Jimmy G in year 2. Trey Lance played I remember he played against the Bears opening day. It was like a really horrible.
Justin Fields' victory.
It was an awful weather game. Trey
right.
Lance looked terrible. Then the next week, Trey Lance suffered that season-ending injury. That was it for him. Then he was traded to the Cowboys last year. He's still there with them. We saw him play in the preseason. What did he throw, like 5 picks or 4 picks in one of the games?
Yeah.
He's with the Cowboys QB3 behind Dak, of course, and Cooper Rush. So Trey Lance is, I don't know, I think he's going to be out of the league soon.
Yeah.
I kind of want to ask. We talked about it with Anthony Richardson. I think Cam brought up the stat. I think it was like 16 games between high school and
Roughly, I think it's somewhere between 16 and 20 like games since college and in the NFL.
yeah. So like he hasn't had a ton of experience. Only 1 year as a starter at Florida. So do we think guys who, when GMs and front offices, they go based off of 1 year of them being a starter. Again, Richardson has that upside, but he has not been great this year. Lance has obviously been awful. Do we think his career is over, though? Because in all fairness, if it wasn't for him getting hurt, they probably would have rode with him a lot longer, and we wouldn't have Brock Purdy. So, I mean, everything happens for a reason. There's always a butterfly effect. But do we think that Lance, should he get an opportunity somewhere else? Because he's rotting away in Dallas right now. They're not going to use him. Again, he looked terrible in the preseason. But for a guy who's a third overall pick, only playing 4 games, you got to get him more. You got to give him more opportunity than that before we completely write him off.
Yeah, but it's just I feel the fact is how like awful he looked for like a 49ers team that can basically throw anyone in at quarterback to look good. I mean, and then this year, if he really wanted that next chance, he could have put good tape for preseason, but he couldn't do that either. Yeah, I don't think. I feel for another like maybe 2 to 3 years he'll just rot on someone's practice squad. But I don't think he's ever really going to get a.
Well, I think
chance.
it's a bit of a gamble too when you take somebody that doesn't have that much game time experience. I could be wrong. I don't know if it was Tom Brady that said it or somebody, but they said that a lot of these guys are coming in, 1 year, 2 years into college, and then they're already like starting. Like I think they need a good season or two to like, get under somebody's wing and learn and. Because like we've said before on this show, is how different like the pace of play is in the NFL compared to college. Just everything is so different.
I definitely think so. Maybe he would benefit. Maybe he's benefiting from sitting behind a guy like Dak. Maybe that's what should have happened right away.
Well, he was.
He was, but it's also it's Jimmy G. That's not the guy to sit behind.
Yeah, but you're learning from Shanahan. That's
but
one
it's
thing in
Jimmy
itself.
G. I don't know if that's the guy you want to learn from. But maybe being behind a guy who has been in MVP talks. I mean, Dallas doesn't win in the playoffs, but Dak obviously has a ton more talent than Jimmy G. Maybe this will be what's good for his career, but I mean, it'd be embarrassing after only 4 games as a starter for your career to be over and you be in the XFL. I know Jamarcus Russell only played 7. But 4 is pretty bad. That's what happens. It's also setting a really bad precedent for FCS quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with how Lance is gone, it's going to be hard for any FCS quarterback to get drafted, let alone drafted that high. But, John, who's the biggest bust?
The biggest bust? Josh Rosen. I don't know.
Bust?
This is the guy I was sitting there. I'm like, I'm trying to think who the biggest, like, who just really, like, flamed out. He had no, like, nothing. I mean, he started his rookie year, mind you, 10th overall pick by the Cardinals. Played just that one season, threw 11 touchdowns. I think he was 3-10. That right there is that's embarrassing. Like, I feel it's also being a part of being a bust is just like the amount of games you played too, and like what you did with your chance. He was just so terrible that the Cardinals were like, oh, we have to get rid of him. Like, he was awful. Then I know he was picked up by the Dolphins a year later because they had all those like quarterback injuries, and he only played 3 games, and he was once again he didn't win anything. He was terrible. Then he was out. Then he wasn't even on an active roster for like 2 years. 2021 he like resurfaced with the Falcons. He got in like 1 game, didn't do much there. I find this one pretty funny. I was doing some research on him last night. I found out he's actually back in school.
Really?
Yeah, back
Get your
in school.
degrees, kid.
Yeah, so that kind of shows what 6 years of your life can do to you. 10th overall pick from UCLA to now back in school because he didn't even graduate.
Well, I mean, he said he was going to make those 9 teams who passed him pay.
Yeah, he didn't do that. Now he's paying them actually.
No, it is funny though. After 1 year, it's not like they spent like a 3rd round pick and let him go. Like they spent a top pick in the next year. With how bad they were, they got the 1st overall pick, and they got Kyler Murray, Kyler Murray's been thriving this year. Yeah, Josh Rosen, pretty big bust if you ask me. There's a lot of busts on this list. I definitely think there's arguments for some other guys too. I think for this class, it's obviously way too early to tell. But there's definitely gonna be one. If we had to make a prediction now of this class biggest bust, who would it be? I think Penix, dude. I'm not buying in. He's going to start when he's 26 years old, and I don't think he's all that.
Yeah,
I really don't.
can agree with that.
Especially like with with the narrative that besides Tua, really lefty quarterbacks don't have a ton of success. So I feel like, especially they went just the whole scenario too. They could have really either beefed up that defense. There was a lot of other talented guys, and with Penix already with a lot of mock drafts, he was kind of like a fringe first rounder. He spent the 8th overall pick on a guy like Penix after signing Kirk Cousins. Cam, what do you got?
Yeah, I got to cut in here. Like, okay. Get it. He's old. He's going to go into the seat like a lot older. And I know I really don't want to say this, but I'm a Michigan guy, but I think you guys are completely forgetting about J.J. McCarthy.
That's what I was
that
just about to say.
J.J.,
Yeah.
like, that is the most system Big Ten quarterback that I've ever seen, even all the training camp footage before he injured, I forget what, tear his ACL or something like that. Anyways, I mean, he just hands the ball off. Like, I mean, he was struggling to make 15, 10-yard passes in preseason training camp. Like, I think J.J. is going to go down as one of the bigger busts.
I mean, I definitely don't think. I think he will not be great either. I was not sold on Michigan. Michigan was a run-first offense. They had a great defense, a great O-line. So yes, McCarthy won an. He was kind of. He didn't lead a national championship team. He was the quarterback on a national championship team. But I mean, you look at the weapons he has around him too. I feel like it's one of those scenarios where he has too many weapons to be bad.
And KOC as his head coach.
Yeah, like KOC's a good coach too. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm not going to say McCarthy's going to be this big success of a quarterback, but I think Penix is just he's not going to start till he's 26, 27. I don't foresee them moving on from Kirk at least until year 3 or 4 of the thing. And especially if they're a playoff team, he's going to stay on the bench till if they keep making the playoffs and being in a.
The benefit with Penix is he's at least learning from Kirk Cousins, and I'm not trying to throw Sam Darnold under the thing. Like, I'm scared as a Lions fan. I hope I hope it's a fluke. I hope it's just another Josh Dobbs, 3 games. Holy crap, the Vikings
love
are
the
back.
Pastronaut.
Yeah, I hope it's just the Vikings are back 3 games and then they lose the next 5. Like, I really don't know, but I just think Penix has the opportunity to learn so much more than McCarthy probably will. And I mean, weapons-wise, I think they're pretty even. Granted, they have Justin Jefferson. I mean, they have Bijan. They have Darnell Mooney. Like, they have guys who can get the job done on both sides. Like, it's not really – if you're going to compare teams, like, skill level, I think right now the Vikings and the Falcons are pretty on par with each other.
I could agree with that. But also just, like, while sitting behind someone is great, it doesn't work for everybody. I know it's worked in the past. Like, you look at a guy like Rodgers, he sat for a while. Mahomes sat for a year. Like, it does work for guys. But even still, I wasn't impressed by. I don't think Penix is super talented either. I think he's a fine quarterback. I just think he looked so good because Washington threw the ball 50 times a game. So that's why his numbers were so good. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he will end up being very successful. I don't foresee a guy who's not going to be starting until he's 27 years old. Because, again, while he's going to play in preseason, he's getting practice, and if Cousins goes down at some point, he'll play. That's a lot of ifs. That's a lot of non-game reps. Sitting behind a guy, he's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Aaron Rodgers where he's going to benefit from sitting behind a guy for 3 years and then become a starter. It's not going to be a Michael Penix story like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if you guys disagree, but I think Penix is going to be the biggest boss. I think McCarthy will have a good enough career to not be the biggest boss of that draft class, at least.
I think another name I was going to add was Drake May.
I was just about to say that. I think he's in the worst situation.
Ben does not like that one.
Yeah, I agree with John. I just think his situation and how he played his like for that one drive or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wouldn't even count
look
that.
too promising. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can agree with you there. I wouldn't even count that because of like the game was over at that point. But I mean, he got beat up too. That one play, he just got sandwiched. But I really like. I don't like the Patriots obviously, but it has nothing to do with that. I don't think he's in a good situation for the next like few years, like where he needs to develop now. Like that team's just not that great. Like, you know what I mean? Like and you need like someone to like get you through like the tough times. And it's also a younger coaching staff now too, so they haven't really gotten a quarterback through development yet. So that's kind of one of those things too. Like, curious to see what happens.
Yeah,
that's fair. Ben's not fully agreeing with that,
Honestly, one more thing before I go back to my little audio corner. Can we just agree that this NFL quarterback class is just terrible?
This like the
overall,
one from this year?
it's just so disappointing.
In the
Like,
first few
I
games,
wanted to
yeah.
ride. I wanted to ride Bo Nix, and I'm so happy Bo Nix had a good game like this week. But like, I've expected more from Jaden Daniels. Like, there's just so many guys. It's like, really, like, this is the best you're doing right now. Granted, I know there's a lot of jitters, but there's so many teams with growing pains. And then we have Derek Carr looking like he's Patrick Mahomes for the past couple of weeks.
Well,
Besides,
except for this
obviously,
week,
game.
yeah.
Great defense game by the Eagles. Hopefully, he can bring it back.
Yeah. Well, we were joking about the stat earlier. There was no murders in New Orleans for 18 days with how good the Saints were, and unfortunately,
There looks like there was one just outside the
unfortunately.
city limits.
I think we have to do a study on that. That might have to be a he knows ball study on the correlation between team success and crime in cities. It is still early in the season. I think with having 2 Heisman Trophy winners in one draft class, I think there was definitely a lot of expectation. I'm not completely sold on the. I think May is a lot more talented than I'd say the other quarterbacks besides Williams and Daniels in the draft. So I think talent alone, May will be successful. Again, I don't think Penix is super talented. I think Bo Nix is very experienced. I don't know if I'd call him super talented. But again, McCarthy is a handoff merchant, but he's gonna KOC will script him to be successful. But yeah, I think Drake May will be all right. I think he's one of the guys who's sitting will benefit him. I wasn't sold on it right away, but I think letting him develop, because he's also younger too. He's not like a 24-year-old getting drafted. Like if you're 24 years old, and you need to be a day one, especially if you're drafted early. You need to be a day one starter. And if Penix was in a different situation where he was playing right away, maybe I would disagree. Maybe I disagree, but it's not that scenario. So it's gonna be Penix, dude. I'm over the Washington Huskies. They had the 1 year of success. They're done. They're back into the they're gonna be in the middle of the pack of the Big Ten for the foreseeable future. But it's about the time. Corey, you want to go grab the crown for some Monday night predictions? Got a little double trouble this week. All of us were wrong last week.
Unfortunately.
We did have a shakeup in the standings, though. Ben, with an atrocious guess of 45-7, is now second to last. I am still. Ben and I were tied last week, but I still hold the crown. I'm not going to wear it again yet. Bow down to your king.
No.
We don't do
that.
Peasant. We got a little double trouble Monday Night Football tonight. We got Jags and Bills, and then the Commanders and the Bengals as your royal leader. Bow down to me. Soren, bow to me. Thank you, Soren.
He did.
I'll get it started. Start with the earlier game. I will take the Jaguars over the Bills, 28-24. I don't think that Bills secondary is that good. They escaped the Cardinals. I don't think the Bills won that game, but I don't think they won that game. They escaped the Cardinals. It was because Josh Allen's just as talented as he is. And last week, Tua made a lot of mistakes, and he got hurt too. So I don't think Skylar Thompson was doing anything against that defense. I can't see Jacksonville starting 0-3. I think they're too good of a team. I think their offense hasn't clicked the first couple weeks. I think they're kind of due for a win. And their defense has been really good. In both losses, they have not allowed more than 20 points. So I think that defense is going to do a good job. I think Buffalo is going to be too good to hold them under 20. So like I said, I think the Bills get 24 points. Josh Allen will probably toss 3 tutties. But I think Jaguars take the win. Do we want to do both of our predictions and then
Do
do-
one.
Yeah,
First
like
game
go
and-
around for one and
all
then
right,
yeah.
so Corey, who do you got for the early game of
I had
tonight's doubleheader?
the Bills 21-13. I don't, to the contrary to you, I don't trust the Jags. They've lost 7 of their last 8 regular season games. I mean, the Trevor Lawrence and the offense just hasn't really looked in sync. I mean, Etienne's been playing good. And to your point, I mean, their saving grace has been their defense. But I just think the Bills, they've been playing good on both sides of the ball. I mean, Josh Allen, James Cook, James Cook's been playing well. So I got the Bills. 21-13. I think it'll be close, but I have the Bills getting the win.
JD?
I got the Bills 26-10, as much as it pains me to say that. But Josh Allen, I think he just keeps it going. He's looked really, really good the last 2 games because now I feel he doesn't have the pressure of trying to force feed a number one weapon. I kind of feel he just goes out there, just play free, and just run around, whatever he has to do. I feel that the Bills defense isn't as good as they were the previous years, but I still feel tonight they're just going to go out there and get after Trevor. I just don't think there's something not right with the Jaguars. As Corey said, they've lost 7 of the last 8 regular season games. Something's not clicking there after. I feel it goes back to the year before when they lost in the playoffs. I feel ever since then they just haven't had a good connection. So I think the Bills defense steps up huge tonight, stops Trevor. Josh has a big game, and watch out for Shakir. I think he's gonna have a big night too.
Cameron, who you got, brother?
I love you, Josh Allen. Bills 28-21. I don't know. I don't trust the Jaguars. DeMar Hamlin stepped up big last week. We all saw how that ended. DeMar Hamlin gonna probably have another big game. Maybe take someone out again. Who knows? Bills 28-21.
Soren, come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
Yeah, Soren.
Hop over with JD. Who do you think is going to be victorious in the early game, in the Jaguars versus Bills game?
Well, it's going to be the Jaguars. It's going to be a close one, though. I have the prediction as 24-20. I think Etienne's going to have a pretty good game, along with maybe Trevor Lawrence throwing a couple of passing touchdowns, but we'll see what happens. I mean, like I said, anything can happen in football, so yeah.
Okay, go back to your corner. Jack, you want to hop on? What do you think? Are we doing another switch up? No more switch ups? Damn.
Is this the first Jack camera appearance?
No. He had to switch up the first week.
Yeah, remember
I guess because
the last episode.
The Lost Chronicles of episode 1 that made John Downey cry on camera. Who do we got, Jack?
I've got Bills 24-14. I desperately need Shakir and James Cook to have great games for fantasy. I'm down to Ben right now. It's been disappointing.
I enjoy that you pick based off of your fantasy needs.
Yeah,
You did that week 1. That's why you switched up. You're like, I don't need Garrett Wilson to do good, so you switched up. I love that you do that for your fantasy needs.
I also just feel like the Jaguars are bad.
Fair.
Trevor Lawrence is not all that.
Oh no, he's in American Eagle commercials now, so like he has to have something going on. Ben, you want to hop on, or you want to? Okay, Ben's waving us off. Where's Ben's pick at? Ben is taking the Bills 28-14 over the Jaguars. Any special thing you think that's going to happen? He just thinks Bills are better.
That's it. Keep it simple, right?
Bernie's pick for tonight. What was that? Trevor is a bust. Is he a top 5 bust?
A bust.
What, Cam, what is he? He's not a top 5 bust? Run that back one more time.
Bust.
There we go.
I mean, he has made the playoffs before, Ben. So
He has.
you
But
can't
then
be that much
they
of
did
a
also
bust.
choke like a 27-point lead.
He didn't do that.
I forgot about that.
And then Bernie's pick for tonight is the Bills over the Jaguars 27-18. Let's switch over to the other game. LSU versus LSU. Daniels versus Barrow. Commanders versus Bengals in Cincy. I will get us started. I have the Cincinnati Bengals winning 31-20. Bengals are not starting 0-3. There's zero shot. I said Jacksonville doesn't have a chance. There's zero shot the Bengals start 0-3, losing at home to the Commanders. There's no chance. They kind of doing whatever the Ravens do. So whatever the Ravens do, the Bengals can do better. So maybe they'll only win by 1 point. Have a heart rate, but they're gonna win. They're not losing. As I have in my notes here, and I quote: "Commanders' defense is Swiss cheese." And also, T. Higgins is projected to make his season debut tonight. I think they're gonna really try to get him involved. And I think he's a rat because he loves that Swiss cheese. So he's gonna be well fed tonight. Corey, who you got, brother?
I got Joe Shiesty and the Bengals 28-17. Like you said, I just can't see the Bengals starting 0-3. I still think Jaden Daniels will have another like consistent game, but I just don't think they have the offensive firepower to get them a win. I think Burrow, is going to keep going to I can't even say his last name.
Gesicki.
That's the one last name
Mike
that
Gesicki.
I can't pronounced right. And Jamar Chase, of course, but even with Zach Moss, too, I think they're going to give him the ball again, and I think the Bengals will get a good win tonight.
Who do you got, Joe?
Bengals 23-20. As we talked about before with the rookie QBs, they haven't looked great yet, but they're slowly getting there. It's like they're going up the steps, right? They're getting there. I think Jaden Daniels will shine tonight on his first primetime game, but it won't be enough. I think Joe Burrow is going to start. I think the Bengals will start out slow tonight because, as you said, too, T. Higgins is making his debut. I mean, with him, Chase, and Burrow on the field together, they're outstanding. But I think it's going to take that first half for them to feel like who's in what spot again, because they haven't played together in a while because Burrow was hurt last year. Higgins was also hurt last year.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel that's going to take them a little bit. So if the first half, I think the Commanders are going to come out hot, take the lead into halftime, and then the Bengals will take over in the second half, and they'll come away with a 23-20 victory. And Mike Gesicki, I just need you to get 9.1, please. Just get. I need to beat my roommate Matty Wiggs. I don't want to hear him chirp me for anymore.
Can't let the Cavs win.
No.
Cameron, who you got, brother?
All right, so same day. Other Monday Night Football game, I decided to fade the other kitty cats. Today, I'm taking the bigger cat. 24-16. I think Jaden Daniels will have another pretty all right game. He'll be able to get them down the field, get at least one touchdown drive. The rest is just going to be field goals. I don't even know what a commander is anyway. 24-16 Bengals.
Soren. Come back over,
He's
brother.
back.
Got notes now.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my picks here.
You don't remember your picks?
No, I do. So I am going to take the Bengals 27-24. I think maybe also the running and passing game with T. Higgins coming back. I think that'll be a nice addition. Also, maybe the running game can also get involved over time. But like I said, this is going to be an LSU versus LSU quarterback game, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the Bengals come up with a victory. But go ahead, Vinny. What are you going to say?
You didn't say it. I said that. You hadn't mentioned that before.
Oh.
Also, I want to mention real quick. You and John are twinning right now.
Whoa.
Red top, black shorts, black shoes.
Wow.
You guys coordinate that, or?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, we didn't. We just said
You really shut that one down real quick.
I had to. Come on.
Can't let the rumor mill start us. No more Woj bombs about
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right, go back
Nice.
to your corner.
Or as Coach O used to say, "Go Tigers."
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Either way, it's
Spot on.
gonna be go Tigers. Go Tigers. Bigsy, what we got, brother?
I got more fantasy implications for this one. Ben's got Big Joe. So I do have Bengals 27-20. Zach Moss goes for 4 touchdowns. Burrow 3 interception game. I think Jaden Daniels performs better than Joe here. But yeah, missed extra point. That's where the 27.
I was going to
comes from.
say, so you said 27.
Yeah, they missed an extra point.
You have
First one
McPherson,
of the-
though.
No, I don't. I'm going against
Oh,
him,
okay, so that's good
that's
for
big. Dude, me and Jack are on the same page now. We had a
We
tough
got it, we
week
got
one,
it.
but we're good.
Worth the differences.
Yeah.
But
It's hilarious how you do it based off of fantasy implications, man. Ben, low scoring affair. Bengals 17-14, and Mr. Radel is going Bengals 31-16. So me and Soren, the only two to have faith in the Cat Squads. Cat Squad's undefeated this week. The Panthers are.
Lions won, Panthers won, Bengals are going to win, Jaguars are going to lose.
No, dude, can we get a Cat Squad sweep? Oh, I think we're feeling a Cat Squad sweep this week. Yeah, you guys can shake your head. Soren and I have faith.
I have ETN in my fantasy team. I don't want them to win either way.
Okay, that's fair. Soren, give us a big meow. Come on.
It's got to be loud.
Cat team, Soren.
It's got to be loud.
Why do I I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm depressed that we did that now. I'm sorry for anyone who actually was able to hear that monstrosity.
Oh, they heard it.
They heard.
There's an echo. They heard it.
But John, you're looking to get on the board. Hopefully, I mean, technically, you can still not get on the board after this week. But what are you going to say to your fans when you do get on the board? Are you gonna say go Tigers?
I'm just gonna say I just want to thank everyone. You know, that's it.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Well, dude, I can get to 2 and 2. That's nice.
Oh yeah, you can turn the ship around.
Because my points are kind of low, right?
Yeah, you're
Good.
point wise, you're very, very good.
Yeah, I just need to get a win first.
Again,
I need to lower my.
Ben
point
is in the
total a
cellar
bit.
at this point. His only way of winning is gonna be by record. It's not gonna be by points.
Or if I don't run up my point total because I'm just a little. I think I'm a little ahead of Ben. Like
I think you're 36.
Yeah, I think so.
I want to say like.
Do we have this?
Yeah, do we have the standings? Kim, can you pull up the standings? I know John's dead last.
Yeah, the only 0 and 2 guy.
You suck. You
Give me
suck.
a second. I'm not very organized in this.
No, you're good, brother.
Everyone is. Okay, so top to bottom, 0 and 2. Congratulations with only 23 points. So you're actually kind of getting the score. somewhat
okay.
right?
Not bad.
1 and 1 is Ben, 45 points off. 1 and 1, Corey, 36 points. Myself, Cam, 1 and 1, 30 points. I mean, everyone's 1 and 1 after this. I'm gonna stop saying that. Soren, 29 points. Jack, 23 points. Bernie, 22 points, and the Crown Man, 17 points. I tried to throw a little crown on the actual graphic last night. It took me about 30 minutes, could not find a single transparent one. Gave up, went to bed.
Fair.
I mean, if I had a win, I would be in third.
Yeah.
So.
Might just have to have everyone take a picture with the crown and just use that. Almost lost the crown.
Can't break that.
I
crown.
still can't believe this is for an adult, dude. This is. I said this was for like an adult costume. This thing does not fit any of our heads.
Yeah, but it's real gold though. That's the thing.
Oh, real,
Like,
yeah, real.
it's not what do you
jewels.
mean? You don't knock. It's not a costume. It's
Speak-
real.
Speak for yourself, bro. Speak.
Well, maybe I'm a little upset because I haven't gotten the crown
Yeah.
yet. So.
Calm down, bucko.
hit the high. Hit your Heisman pose.
Oh yeah. Well, no. You got to square up first and then stare at the camera for a few seconds and then.
Man, that was awful. Do we got anything else we want to talk about before we wrap it up for the day? We had another good episode. Hopefully, no more Lost Chronicles, as we are
Oh
live
my
streaming on
God.
YouTube for the first time.
Yes.
Each episode, we're getting better and better.
That's right.
What's our improvement going to be for next week? Maybe get a logo up on the TV for next time.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
you
we
know, I
can
was
do
thinking
that.
that. Yeah.
Jared Goff doesn't throw an interception next game.
That would, for Cameron's sake, that'd be good. Hopefully, nothing changes with this precious. No,
I'll hold it for you.
no,
gotta
no.
feel it.
My crown. We do have something new too. You want to grab the new sauce bottle? Yeah, new decor if Corey can reach it. From
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, a little barbecue sauce. Got two sauces now. We got barbecue sauce and Diggs' Elite Hot Sauce, authentic from Buffalo. There we go.
Sponsor us.
We gotta try these at some point. This actually, I don't know if we should.
Maybe
try
the
this.
bottom of the standings has to take a nice little gulp out of it at the end of the season.
This is like 3 years old.
Sounds good to me.
It's gonna be freaking chunky, man. Just wanna get this back over there. But anything else we want to talk about before we wrap it up? Anything on our minds? Or we good to call episode 3?
Just follow us on social media. That's
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Keep growing, right?
If you're watching us on YouTube right now,
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for that.
Thanks.
We appreciate it.
Thanks, chat.
There's
Thanks, chat.
There's no giveaway or anything.
Oh yeah.
But thanks for watching. I guess that's always we love our
Yeah.
we love our viewers.
We love our chat. Thanks, chat.
Always great. But that's gonna do it for this edition of He Knows Ball. Make sure to follow us on all of our social medias: TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow, share to your friends, family, share it to your neighbor who doesn't have social media. Show them what a phone is. But make sure to share them. Love the support. And as always, JD, Corey, Vinnie G. Have a great week, everybody.